Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. Monday, June 3rd, 2024. No, Coco is not in the kennel. Okay, Coco is out there eating right now. I had Coco on my Instagram. Check my Instagram. He's this cute little crew chief thing on. So anyway, link in the description of this video. All right, people. No, Coco hasn't been pawned. You guys and girls are amazing. Look, we got to talk. Post-market wrap-up. Say that already. Anyway, crazy day in this market. Supposed glitches sent a couple of these companies' stock cratering. Berkshire Hathaway down 99% earlier. But anyway, people that got in, and some people did, we'll talk about this in a moment, will not be able to keep their gains, which were freaking astronomical. Okay. But anyway, so that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. So again, we have to talk. There's a lot going on here. As a matter of fact, let's start off with that. So here's a headline from Market Watch. Tried to buy the dip after the Berkshire Hathaway glitch. Bad news is you can't keep what you got. Sorry. Although I think it's unfair, really. I think people should be able to keep what they got. Maybe you would fix things around here. Anyway, so markets we got to talk about. Let's do that. So we had a mixed market today, but a wild ride. The Dow finished down roughly 100 and something points, 0.3%. We were down way more earlier, over 400 on the Dow. S&P 500 put on a gain. NASDAQ put on a gain today. Cryptocurrencies got bid higher. Gold and silver got bid higher. Someone's buying a lot of debt, and we need to talk about that too. The dollar weakened substantially, down about 0.5% today. Crude oil got hit pretty good. But again, these dips with crude or energy prices, they're beautiful because these are all priced in dollars. The dollar is being massively devalued. And no matter who they put behind the Resolute desk, whoever's selected, we already heard from Trump what he wants to do. What this current freak wants to do, he doesn't even know his own name. So whatever he wants is irrelevant. But at least I'm going to give Trump another shout out here for having the guts to say that he's going to weaken the dollar. He's going to devalue the dollar, and he's going to have the Fed buy more debt, prop up the market. Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. Anyway, all right. Look, speaking of that, I read a couple of polls today. I want to know what you guys and girls think. Let's start off with this one. I started off with this one. So Lions and Friends, as we move closer to the presidential selection, do you expect that the Federal Reserve will continue to prop up the market or let it fall? There were over 2,000 people who voted in this one. Just 9% believe that the Fed's going to allow the market to fall. 91% of you believe the Fed's going to prop up this market. And I believe that's exactly what's going to happen here. We know the Swiss National Bank has already cut rates. We're going to hear from the ECB, the Canadian National Bank, and they're going to cut rates too. Hold that thought. So anyway, that was an interesting. And the second poll here, so Lions and Friends, that's you. Does Donald Trump, who is now supporting cryptocurrencies and is even accepting them as campaign donations, make you more or less bullish on crypto? You already know my perspective. I don't need Donald Trump or Donald Duck to make my mind up with regard to where cryptos are going. Pat, 85, thank you. So 78% of you said now that Trump is bullish on crypto, you are now more bullish on crypto. That's 78%. That's a good number. 22% of you are less bullish now that Donald Trump is a cryptocurrency advocate. I commend him. I'll be honest with you on this one. I think he wasn't always like this, and you can't blame. I don't think you could blame Trump or pretty much anybody else for not initially maybe supporting cryptocurrency. I was not a supporter. You go back a long time ago. And the reason why I wasn't a supporter back then, Purgatory Homestead, thank you. It's going pretty good. Was because I didn't really understand it. Look, I'm an old school guy. I'm an old guy. I'm going to be 59 July. All right, you believe that? So, my brain kind of reverts back to before this stuff even existed. And I'm really an old school kind of a investor, trader, whatever. So anyway, but I came around. Look, it's very simple. Would you rather hold a central bank issued unit of debt, or would you rather own, let's say, Bitcoin? Okay, I always talk about Bitcoin because it's the mommy, all right, which you own. You own it. It is yours. It's not owned by or issued by a central bank. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my view, but I get it. Whatever. The system is already 99% digital. Flash news alert. Thank you. And we're going obviously to a full digital cross-world trans-border tokenized system as they continue to deconstruct the current system. Sandy, thank you as well. So anyway, I thought those two polls were kind of interesting. Now look, with regard to this market, this is what you and I are watching. This is the MMRI at the close. Again, link in the description of this video. Look where we are with regard to that support line. Do you see that? Do you see that? Are we going to break down or are we going up? If we go up here, obviously the market's not going to like it. If we go down, market's going to like it plenty good. I mean, today just was an example of, I think, what we're about to see. We had the Dow down substantially earlier, down over 400. We finished only down about 100, as there was a lot of debt buying here. Now, this is interesting. We just spoke about this. So the European and Canadian central banks are expected to start to cut rates. This is where central banks, they're starting the momentum here. And the Federal Reserve is going to follow suit. When I believed it was going to be in June, I don't think so anymore. I explained this because look, the issues are so monumental. We have inflation off the Richter scale, getting progressively worse, only going to get worse, period. And that's, again, the power of a central bank, their ability to inflate. Carlos knows what I'm talking about. Thank you. So we got the Swiss National Bank. We're going to get the ECB, the Canadian Central Bank. Others are going to follow. Federal Reserve, July, August, September, somewhere along there. We're getting it. It's coming. And then more are coming. They already got the economy and the people by the throats. Here's the deal, what you should understand. Every single central bank, especially this one here, the Federal Reserve, looks for every avenue imaginable that they can dream about, think about, or fantasize about as a way to continue to inflate. Now, again, central banks cutting rates is a beautiful way to continue to inflate, on top of obviously inflating the money supply $1 trillion since February. $1 trillion every 3 months added to the debt. Your back, my back, your kids' back, everybody else here. War, expanding war, all that stuff. But now they need another avenue, and that should scare you. That should scare you because, again, they don't care who they have to kill, maim, murder, slaughter, whatever it might be. They don't care. We, unfortunately, are living under their control. We are forced to participate in their system. Why do you think a fraction of our loving, caring representatives want you to be in gold, silver, or cryptocurrency? They all want you in a central bank note. Thank you, Lily Z. I appreciate that. You see what I'm talking about? Anyway, you know that whole story. We don't even have to talk about that. So let's move forward a little bit. This was earlier today when the Dow was down. This was just 300. It was down over 400, like 450 or something like that earlier. So, but again, on economic concerns, the mainstream media, Tyler, thank you. Exactly. Wine was over. Is being forced to talk about the economy not doing so well after all the lies and the deceptions and how great we're doing. And we're the envy of the world. Oh, absolutely. It's just, you can't make this stuff up. But they have no choice because the information that we cover here before anybody else, it's getting out there. So people have to say, hold on a minute here. Why is it that manufacturing is falling off of a cliff? Productivity falling off of a cliff? Why debts and deficits continue to balloon out of control? Why inflation continues to rise? People got to start asking these questions. It's really true. Now, this is interesting too. Just a few more things I want to cover real quick. So this is CNBC talking about the S&P 500 maybe going through a false breakout. Let me tell you something about this false breakout that they're talking about. Jeffrey, thank you. And Jeffrey knows that I'm talking about it as well. This whole thing is false. Okay, it's not real. There's no price discovery mechanism at all that exists, really, truly, in any asset class today. Woken up, 2022. Thank you. So it's all false. That you should be clear on. Okay, but regardless of anything else, regardless of where the economy is, the faster it craters, the higher the market's going to go. Joseph, thank you as well. We all know that. We've been talking about this for years. More easy money currency devaluation, which is going to be, forget about it. With regard to commodities, we know that commodities are priced in dollars, and we know that the currency is going to be devalued again. If they put Trump behind the resolute desk, currency is going down. Your life is going to get harder. Inflation is going to continue to rise. The Federal Reserve is going to get stronger. If Biden is selected, same thing. Same suit, different guys, different suit, whatever it may be. I don't know. But this is kind of interesting here. So everything is false. If we do get rate cuts starting, with the ECB now, the ECB and the Fed follow in lockstep. ECB does something or the Fed does something, they all follow next. This is another one by Market Watch here. The S&P 500 can hit 6,500 next year. Now, I don't even want to go there, okay? Because next year after the selection, sure, is it possible? Let's talk about this. Let's pick a scenario. Trump is selected. A lot of you are going to be on your hands and knees thanking the Almighty as the dollar becomes more devalued, as the Fed becomes stronger, as he already said he's going to do. Sure, currency devaluation, manipulation of interest rates, again, empowering the Fed, that could absolutely vault the S&P 500, 6,500 or more. But this is a little premature. We need to see where we're at when we get closer. This whole thing's coming apart and it's being deconstructed. We are going to hit a moment, and I don't think it's too far off, where, again, the debt market implodes. This unbelievable amount of propping up of the debt market is all it's doing is creating distortions way worse in the market than we already have. That's why I've been telling you for, 10 years, that in my view, there is not one single asset today that has a real price discovery behind it. Somebody wants to buck faux Jiden. I like that. Personally, I don't want to do that. But, if you're into that kind of stuff, who am I to say it's a bad thing? I'm just goofing with you, all right? Biden doesn't know who he is. He can't put a cohesive sentence together. He's demented. So if you want to blame, you really got to blame him. He doesn't know what's going on. He has no idea. He's the ultimate puppet in my view. Ultimate puppet. That's why, more than likely, in my opinion, and the way I see it, he's being reselected. Could it change? Don't know. Won't make a difference for you anyway. Don't worry about it. Just understand where we're at. Okay, you and I, we're looking out for each other. We got each other's backs. And we got to wake up more people. I don't know another way to put it here, because we have no representation and it won't matter anymore. Kings, queens, presidents, monarchs, dictators, they don't run a damn thing as the central banks. And when you wake up to that and you realize they have an agenda, they have shareholders, they pay dividends to their shareholders, you'll understand whose interest they are supporting. I mean, until we get rid of the Fed, in this case, you can't be free, no matter who they stick behind the resolute desk. Could be anything. Thing, creature, whatever. You know all this already. This is all just old school, old stuff to all of you. Jeff had a Mercury Monarch. Cool car. Greg pawned cocoa to satisfy his treasury addiction. No. I'll get look, honestly, I did put cocoa out on my Instagram. There's a link down below. In fact, I put one out today on my Copo. It was running today. I was over there at the shop. Wow. Whipping that throttle. I will have it out this week, Wednesday or Thursday, probably both days. All right, people, look, you and me, what are we going to talk? What else you want to talk about before I let you go? Please go get Coco. I'll bring him out. He's eating. Can't bother the little guy. I will play the guitar at one point. I promise I will. Crypto salesman? Who's a crypto salesman? You? I'm not selling crypto, so you can't say that I'm a crypto salesman. I just think this stuff is vastly undervalued based upon so many things. Its market cap, probably Nah, not number one. Number one and maybe number two would be crypto market cap, and that's the overall value of all of the cryptocurrencies. And then you got the fact that it's very thinly held. Very few people hold this stuff. So the fact is, the growth there is tremendous, and it's again, it's all predicated about the debt market. Again, when you have this kind of a situation here, where the market is being propped up, where rates are being artificially suppressed, all that does, and all it's meant to do. Pay attention for a minute. Is open that doorway for cash to make its way into the stock market, and that means it's coming out of things that it should be going into. Gold and silver, like commodities, like cryptocurrencies as well, other things as well become massively undervalued, and that's where the opportunity lies. It's so easy to stay ahead of the curve if you just understand how cash makes its way through the markets. Right, brother 64 knows what I'm talking about. All my lions know what I'm talking about. 66 Chevelle is a nice car. I had one too, SS396. 77 GTX 446 pack Dana 410 Dana. Nice. Anyway, all right, guys and girls, look, you get it all. 72 Buick Grand Sport. Nice car as well. Anyway, all right, people, you and me, we're going to get going here. Mitch, thank you. So anything else? Oh, this petro deal, don't give it any thought. Honestly, it's not going to send, again, this whole issue with OPEC and the dollar and everything. This is something you understand. And I've been getting emails and stuff. People get it all up in arms, all uppity when this is it. This is the black swan. This is it. This is what's going to happen. No. I've been telling you this for 1,000 years, it feels like. Okay, when you can see something, when you can point at something and say, that's the reason why a cascade of events are going to happen, it's not it. I'm telling you. The big one here, first of all, we understand. Look, let me allow you to, know something maybe that you don't already know. If we realize that this entire thing here is a game that is being played in a masterful way. Again, this is central banks colluding with world leaders and whatever else around the world here. It's going to be at a time of their choosing when they decide to bring the system down. When they flat out have every single piece in place for them to issue in the new system. Again, they're deconstructing. Think of the word I'm using here. I'm using it for a reason. They are deconstructing the current system, pushing us all in the same direction, worldwide at the same time. Understand? So when they're ready, they flick a switch, which will cause a meltdown in the debt markets. It's going to happen. The stock markets of the world are going to fall so fast and so hard. And then we're going to get into, and that's not even the worst part of it, not even by a long shot. The worst part of it is a locking up of the credit systems, just like what was happening during the meltdown, 2008, 2009 meltdown there. It wasn't so much that the stock market was crashing, or crashed, and the financial crisis that swept the world. What it really was a credit issue or a debt issue, which all they've done is just reinflated on a monumental epic scale. You see what I'm talking about? So we're going to face the same thing. And this is also not going to be by accident. They're going to lock up the credit systems, no access to cash. Debit cards don't work. Credit cards don't work. Credit of any kind stops working. People, is going to be pandemonium in the streets, and that's what they're looking to do. It's a setup. They want people to beg for a solution for which they are going to give you one, something that's going to benefit them. This current fiat system is dying. Once you realize that, and you realize who really runs the world, it ain't the Bidens. Believe me, it ain't the Bidens. It ain't the Trumps either, or anybody else here. When you understand it's the central banks who control the monetary system, the economy, the financial markets, then you know who runs the world. It's that simple. If any of you really think that a decrepit, demented old man is pulling the strings, really? Is that what you think is happening? You are way off base. I think, at least, I hope you guys get that. All right. Anyway, listen. We, my beautiful friends, are going to get going here. I hope we covered some things here that are important, that make a positive difference in your life. Actionable material. I want you to come away from every single one of my videos thinking about, if you understand what's happening, first of all, do your own research. Is Greg right or is Greg wrong? Don't believe my word for anything. Let your fingers do the walking. You don't even have to go to the library anymore. Look up this stuff for yourselves. Get, wow, Greg was right. What do I need to do about it is what is the question you should be asking yourself. But we already understand. If you've been with me for any length of time, you already know. You're betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank. These things here I've said since day one got to be the best pieces of advice you're ever going to hear in the history of your life. That's the truth. That's what you need to do right now. The system is coming down. The system is being deconstructed. The debt-based system is coming apart. So what do you got to do? You got to be in anti-debt units. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, silver, my favorite of all time. Gain exposure to commodities here. Stay long the stock market still for now. I am not a permabull. Okay, I am looking at risk in this market. That's all I look at. I don't even give a damn about stock futures or anything anymore like I used to back then. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. The MMRI, more specifically right now there. That's what I'm looking at. I want to see if we're going to bounce off, up, or if we're going to break down here. This is what we need to be looking at, you and me. You see that? Again, free to all of you. All right, people, look, this guy loves you from the heart. I mean that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love, your friendship, your support. 499 thumbs up. Please, people, help me out with that. We need to get the videos seen, in my view, okay? I think this is important stuff. I think it's gold. So if you give these videos if you give the videos a thumbs up, algorithms say, hey, people like this stuff. So they'll pick it up. Otherwise, you know, it's just get it out there, right? I'm counting on you for that. This guy here loves you from the heart. I mean that. I'm going to see you in the morning. And until we meet again, please take care of yourselves and each other, all right?